All right, let's talk about NFTs. If you're a creator, an artist, or honestly just kind of curious about where the internet is heading, you've definitely heard the term. And yeah, they can seem super complicated, but today we're going to break it all down. Let's just dive right in and unlock how NFTs are completely changing the game for digital ownership.
So let's start with a really big question, something to think about. If you create this amazing piece of digital art, or a killer music track, or hey, even a meme that goes viral, once you post it online, who actually owns it? Who's in control?
You know, for decades, this was the huge dilemma. Digital files are just so easy to copy and paste. I mean, a simple right-click and save as, and poof, your work is instantly duplicated, totally stripping it of its value and uniqueness. This meant creators had basically zero control and almost no way to make a living from their digital work once it was out there.
And that, right there, is what we call the digital creator's problem. A world of infinite copies, with no reliable way to prove who the original owner is. It's a massive challenge, and for a long time, it really held back the value of digital creativity.
But then, well, everything changed. NFTs arrived on the scene, and they offered a seriously powerful solution. For the very first time, they brought this concept of provable, verifiable ownership into the digital world, transforming your creative work from just, a file into a secure, traceable asset.
So how in the world does this actually work? Well, NFTs are the key that unlocks true digital ownership, and the best way to get it is to just break down the name itself.
Okay, NFT. It stands for Non-Fungible Token. It sounds super technical, I know, but it's really not. Non-fungible just means it's unique. It can't be replaced. Think about the original Mona Lisa. There's only one. That's non-fungible. But a dollar bill? That's fungible. You don't care which dollar you have. They're all the same. The token part is the real key. It's the digital certificate, the actual proof of ownership that's recorded for everyone to see.
And this brings us to a super important point. NFTs are not the same as cryptocurrencies. Think of crypto like digital cash. It's interchangeable, it's used for payments. NFTs, on the other hand, are like unique pieces of digital art. Every single one is different, and it represents ownership of a very specific thing. Put it this way, you use the cash, the crypto, to buy the art, the NFT.
And the magic that makes all of this possible, it's the blockchain. The easiest way to think about it is like a public digital record book. Every single transaction, every time an NFT is created or sold, gets written down as a block on a permanent chain. And because this record book isn't just in one place, but it's copied across thousands of computers all over the world, no one person can go in and change it. That's what makes it so incredibly secure and trustworthy.
Okay, so you've got a piece of digital art, you're fired up, you're ready to turn it into an NFT. So, how do you actually do it? It might sound really technical, but the process, we call it minting, is way more straightforward than you probably think. Let's walk through the blueprint.
It really just boils down to 4 main steps. First, you need a digital wallet, something like MetaMask. Think of this as your own personal, super secure vault for all your digital stuff. Second, you've got to choose a blockchain. Ethereum is the big one, but there are others that are way more affordable, like Polygon. Third, you connect that wallet to an NFT marketplace. OpenSea is one of the most popular ones. And finally, the fun part, you mint your creation. And that's just a fancy word for uploading your file, writing a description, and officially publishing it as an NFT on the blockchain. That's it. But hang on, because this is where it gets really interesting. For creators, the power of NFTs doesn't just stop when you make that first sale. Oh no. In fact, this is where the technology becomes an absolute game changer. It creates a whole new way for artists to make money. And it's all because of a feature called royalties. See, in the traditional art world, an artist sells a painting once, and that's it. They don't see another dime, even if it sells for millions later. With NFTs, you can actually program a royalty right into the code of the asset, and that means you automatically get a cut, a percentage of the sale price, every single time your work is resold to someone new.
Just imagine this. You set a 10% royalty. You sell your piece for the first time. Awesome. A year later, that collector sells it to somebody else for a way higher price. Boom, 10% of that new sale price goes directly into your wallet, automatically. This creates a stream of passive income that it never existed for digital creators before.
And that's why you hear people say things like this. It's because this system finally gives creators the kind of long-term reward they've always deserved. It makes sure that as an artist's career grows and their work gets more valuable, they get to keep sharing in that success.
And listen, don't think this is just for digital paintings. NFTs are popping up everywhere. In gaming, players can actually own their in-game items now. Musicians are dropping albums as NFTs that come with exclusive perks. We're seeing it used for fraud-proof event tickets, for digital fashion you can wear in the metaverse, and even for buying and selling virtual land.
So when you zoom out, what we're really talking about here is the future of ownership online. NFTs aren't just some niche techie thing. They are a fundamental building block for the next version of the internet.
This slide shows the difference perfectly. We're moving from what we call Web 2.0, the internet we know, which is dominated by huge platforms where you basically just rent your space, to Web 3, an internet where you, the user, are in control. And in this new world, NFTs are basically the digital property deeds.
And that is the ultimate takeaway. When you own an NFT, it lives in your personal wallet, not on some company's server. It can't be taken away from you. It's your digital property, provably and permanently. It's a huge shift from just being a participant to being an owner.
So, we'll end with this thought. For the first time in history, pure digital creativity can be a real, verifiable asset, as real as a house or a car. The tools are here, the playing field is wide open, so the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?